What is going on, YouTube? My glorious Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes, the rematch, is happening this Saturday night, UFC 325. And I would be lying if I told you I was giving y'all my full card breakdown and predictions. But we're going to do most of the fights on here. The road to the UFC fights, I would be lying if I said I knew who these people were. I would be lying. I'm going to run through these real quick. I got Oban Elliott winning. I got Torres Finney winning, actually. Cody Brundage obviously is not winning a fight in 2026. And I got Billy Elikana over Junior Tafa. Now, let's get right into it. Quillen Salkiel versus Jamie Malarkey. Now, Quillen Salkiel, highly anticipated return to the octagon after his big KO, his big head kick KO a couple months ago. Very skilled on the feet, can mix it up with takedowns. He's got good offensive grappling, but he's pretty boring when he grapples, so I would rather him not grapple in this fight. But Jamie Malarkey, we know what he wants to do. He wants to press forward, get in your face, make it a dirty, slugfest type, dirty fight. I don't believe this height is right. Jamie Malarkey cannot be 6 feet tall if Quillen Salkiel is 6 feet, who I also don't think is 6 feet. He might be taller than 6 feet. But anyway, I'm going with Quillen Salkiel to get this one done. I think he's got good enough anti-grappling to deal with someone like Jamie Malarkey. Jamie's not good on the feet whatsoever, especially against somebody like Salkiel who will have the reach advantage against him, who will be able to chop low, who will be able to dig to the body. He punches hard as fuck. I'm not too impressed on Quillen Salkiel. I just know how Jamie Malarkey fights. And he's gonna get KO'd in this fight. I can already see it, to cap off the main card, it's a pretty shit card, but I think Quillen will get a good KO down the pipe because Jamie Malarkey, he gets hit a lot. I know he won his last fight. He gets hit a lot, and that bruiser type, I'm just gonna walk forward and eat a couple shots so I can get to my grappling and take you down and hold you against the cage, kinda hold you on one knee while I'm like punching you and making it a dirty fight. I don't think Quillen's going for that. I think he's prepared enough for that. He's shown that he's prepared for that, and he's shown that if he gets hurt or if he doesn't like the matchup, he will take it to the ground himself and make it one of those boring type fights. But I got Quillen by KO in round 2. Moving on, though. Tai Tuivasa taking on Talison Teixeira. Tai Tuivasa did not fight for the entirety of 2025, I believe. Talison Teixeira is coming off that KO against Derek Lewis in July. Both coming off losses, both trying to get back into the win column. Tai Tuivasa hasn't won a fight since 2022 or 2023. He's lost 5 in a row. 6 in a row. He's a fat blob. I don't know what to tell you. I know they're in Australia. I know Shui. I know this. Talented Teixeira, he got that fluke. He got fluke KO'd against Derek Lewis, honestly, where the fight got called off because he grabbed the cage and he was still rocked. But I thought he would have survived that. He's better than Tai Tuivasa, though. Tai might have more power, but it's 6'7" compared to 5'11" Tai Tuivasa. I think he'll hurt Tai to the body with like front kicks or body kicks, and he'll end up knocking Tai Tuivasa out, and Tai will retire. Or he should retire. He's shit. He's dog shit. I don't know how he's still ranked. Talented Teixeira's ranked 15. I think Tai's 13 or 12 or some shit. Yeah, Tai has to cut to get to heavyweight. He's wearing bodysuits in his training to get to heavyweight. To get to 265, Tai Tuivasa is wearing sweatsuits and doing doing TJ Dillashaw style weight cuts to make the heavyweight limit. He's not serious. Talented Teixeira should get him out pretty quickly in round 1. Moving on, though, the feature fight of the main card, the feature fight. Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy. I got Rafael Fiziev. I love Rufy. I do love Rufy, but I got Fiziev, especially the way Fiziev has dealt with height in the past, or recently, I should say, in his last fight against Ignacio Bahamondes. back in June at Azerbaijan. Um, he can deal with height pretty well. Rufi doesn't really chop low kicks. He doesn't really do much. He's like more floaty, try to tag you here and float on the outside. He's a pick your shot kind of guy. And Fiziev is I'm getting in, body head or head body, end it off with an inside low kick, or head body head, end it off with a body kick, or he throws in combinations and he throws heavy. In a 3-round fight, I think this is a perfect matchup for him. Somebody who can touch his chin and has power for sure, but isn't gonna be like overwhelming. Fiziev, I should say. Rufi's good, but all the fighting nerds are like kind of one and done strikers. Carlos Prates is the best of them at striking, but they're all one and done. They don't really throw like 5-6 punch combinations, and Fiziev does that. He doesn't have power behind it, because if he did, he'd be the best striker in the world. But I think Rufi, those spinning attacks, I don't think that's working on Muay Thai. Tiger Muay Thai lives at Tiger Muay Thai, trains with Peter Yan. Rafael Fiziev, like, he's lost to Justin Gaethje in the UFC, and that's it. And arguably won that first fight against Gaethje. I thought he beat Gaethje in that first fight. That second fight, very weird circumstances. His first fight in a year and a half, fighting Justin Gaethje on 2 weeks notice, 3 weeks notice, or some shit. That was very odd circumstances for them. But he's been ready for somebody like Rufi. He's not gonna get hit by a spinning wheel kick, or a wheel kick. He's not gonna get spinning back kick to the body and get hurt. I think if he gets touched on the chin, like if that left hook hits, he might. But I got Fiziev picking Rufi apart over 3 rounds, destroying him to the body, battering up those legs. Actually, I got round 3 KO for Rafael Fiziev. I think he will outclass Mauricio Rufi on the feet, who seems a little... Benoit Saint-Denis put a hurt on him. He really did. Benoit Saint-Denis literally walked through him like he was nothing. Those pretty shots on the feet, they weren't really doing much. And this is going to be a striker versus striker matchup, but I think Fiziev is one of the best strikers in the world. And I think if you can't put him out with like a hard punch, like Gaethje, they're in the pocket and they're exchanging in the pocket, and Gaethje's finishing with an overhand on the top. It's got the crowd going, it looks hard as fuck. Rufi's not trading in the pocket with Fiziev at all. I just spit everywhere. Rufi's not trading in the pocket with Fiziev. He's just not. He's going to be floating on the outside, and Fiziev's going to be charging up body kicks. He's going to be trying to get in. I can see the fight starting out. Fiziev trying to get in. He's like missing low kicks, and then he ends up finding his range, and it's the beginning and the end there. So I got either 3rd round knockout or 29-28 decision for Rafael Fiziev. I think it'll be 3rd round knockout though. Or it'll be a clear decision for Fiziev. Moving on, the co-main event, Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis, both making extremely quick turnarounds. Dan Hooker having just fought Arman Tsarukyan in Qatar back in November, and Benoit Saint-Denis getting that quick, just demolition KO over the corpse of Beneil Dariush at UFC 322. Now, Benoit's got the momentum. He took out Rufi. He took out Kyle Prepolek before Rufi. Then he took out Rufi. Then he took out Beneil Dariush. So everybody's back talking about him. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. God of War, all of that. I have to look at who he got put up against. And I'm sorry, I got to tell you, just from the way that Renato Moicano changed my whole perspective on BSD. I thought he was going to run through it. Oh, he was beating Poirier. He was whooping Poirier before he gassed out because he had staff and he didn't want the fight to go on longer, so he had a dumbass thing against Poirier. No, Renato Moicano put a beating on him like no other, and I cannot get that out of my head. And I know Dan Hooker's better than Renato Moicano has ever been in his entire career. Even at featherweight, yes, I know he fought, although I'm not stupid. Dan Hooker's better than Moicano has ever been. I think Dan Hooker should win this pretty soundly. Round 2 KO. I think he's too long for BSD. And I think if Gamrot couldn't hold Dan Hooker down and like keep him there, control him really. I don't think BSD can, who seems to wilt if his gas tank's gone, if he can't just wrestle you and take your back and RNC you, he's not going to really do much damage to you on the ground. I know Dan Hooker just got mauled by Arman Tsarukyan, but that's Arman Tsarukyan. There's like a big drop off of Ilya, Arman, Max, and then there's Charles, and then there's a big drop, not a big drop off. Ilya, Arman, Max, Charles, Justin Gaethje, and then there's a drop off of Fiziev, Dan Hooker, and then there's a big drop off between the rest of the division. I truly do think so. I got Dan Hooker by round 2 KO. I think those front kicks to the body are gonna be fucking money against BSD. Who Dan Hooker can fight from both stances, but when he's orthodox, BSD comes out in that southpaw. He's gonna try to chop low, and I think Dan Hooker is gonna time those low kicks that BSD throws, make him pay for it. He'll throw low kicks of his own. I think the body kick will be money for BSD here though, or for Dan Hooker though, to beat Benoit Saint-Denis, who will be trying to hold him up against the cage, and I can see Dan Hooker pushing his head away while balancing on one leg, and the crowd's booing, and he's trying to fight for that takedown. Dan Hooker gets taken down, stand back up, separate, and then he's putting a beating on him. I can see that happening. I'm not too impressed by BSD. I'm seeing people talking about him fighting Arman if he beats Dan Hooker here. Arman would actually like bend him over and fuck him raw, no lube. Yeah, that's how the fight's gonna go. I think round 2 KO for Dan Hooker. Volk, no, Volk. Volk. Oh, I hate doing this. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes for the second time. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? My Volkanovski. My Volk. I don't know why my shit started tweaking, but I'm obviously going Alexander Volkanovski. He had an argument for winning every single round that last fight. He obviously won rounds 1, 3, and 5. Round 2, he wobbled Lopes. He wobbled Lopes, and then he winning every single other exchange in round 2. Round 4, he won round 4. He won in every exchange basically. The only moment that Lopes had was when his knuckle went in Volk's eye and Volk started running because he couldn't see, but that's not really like damage in a fight that you can count towards winning a round. Volk arguably won every fight. He won 4 rounds last time. Looked IQ, he looked a better grappler, he looked a better striker. Diego Lopes is the Ateba Gutierrez of featherweight. He really is, but he's better. You know, he's better with the ground game. He's not going to take Volk down. We've never seen Volk get ragdolled on the ground. We've never seen Volk get submitted. We've never seen Volk get taken advantage of on the ground by anybody, and he's fought Islam Makhachev and Ilya Topuria. So we know that's not going to happen. The last fight, Volk took him down and beat him up in the first round at the end. So we know the grappling advantage is for Volkanovski. Diego Lopes doesn't really look to take anybody down either, especially offensive grappling. When he grapples, it's when someone fucks up, like when Gene Silva did that spinning back kick to the body, and he timed the back take, like Gene Silva spun, exposed his back, and then Diego Lopes just ran up on him and grabbed him and took him down. But we know Diego Lopes isn't beating Volk on the ground. We know where he's going to get his shot off. It's standing on the feet, landing a right hand over the top of Volkanovski. And I just want to say, Diego Lopes hits hard. He does. You can tell he hits hard. He's not skilled with his punches whatsoever. Like, I know that's crazy to say because he's a UFC fighter and you see him doing those drills. But when he punches, and when he was punching at Volk, he was throwing like with this. He wasn't throwing a turned over right. He was throwing like this. He was throwing those twos like it was a fucking hammer fist down, you know? I don't know how to describe it, but those shots I don't think are sleeping Volk. Like, even when he got dropped, it was more so like oh fuck, I got flashed, I got caught, and let me get up and scramble to my feet. That was how he got dropped. So I think Volk will outclass him on the feet again. I think Volk will be even more confident. I think it'll be like how we saw Max Holloway versus Volk 3, where Volk just leaps and bounds better. Diego Lopes can try to walk him down, but Volk's out jabbing him, stepping on the back feet, switching stances a lot, circling away, jab, circle left, jab, circle right, low kicks, a couple exchanges in the pocket where Volk's getting the best of it. If Diego Lopes wins, I think it'll be by an uppercut because Volk tends to dip his head to the right when he's in combinations. He did that a lot in the first fight. So if Diego Lopes can time an uppercut, then maybe. But his only way to win is to get a fluke KO, honestly. Knock on wood. I'm not wearing my Volk shirt right now. I'll be wearing it Saturday. Win or lose, I'll be wearing it all day for the card. I'll be wearing it all after the funeral. I'll be wearing it all day for the rest of the day. As soon as I get home, putting on my Volk shirt. This is my Volkanovski, man. It's just so much stressful, dude. He could have been fighting Movzar, and I could get in here and I could laugh and I could be like, there's no way Volk loses to Movzar. Like, Movzar can't KO him. But I'm nervous because Diego Lopes can 1,000% KO Alexander Volkanovski. Whether it be in the pocket, whether it be, he lands one of those another shots over the top. But he's not really sleeping guys with his hands. Like, is he? Is he sleeping guys with his hands? Is he? Like, I don't have to do this. I'm not a fucking casual. Like, his last fight was Gene Silva. He got that spinning elbow. Fight before that was Volk. Fight before that was Brian Ortega, where he knocked Ortega out, then woke him back up. Ortega's got a granite chin, though, so that doesn't count. I mean, then he fought, guys like Pat Sabatini and Sadiq Youssef and Dan Ige. He's not sleeping. Oh, he did sleep Sadiq Youssef. But that's Sadiq Youssef, man. This is Alexander Volkanovski. He's not getting caught in those situations where he's got to be clinching up and he's in dirty boxing positions and shit. That's not happening. Alexander Volkanovski is going to get a 49-46 decision win. He's going to beat up Diego Lopes even worse than he did the first time. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 5-0. I'm going to come here in the basement. I'll be recording my recap of the card. And I'm going to say, Alexander Volkanovski, we already knew he was the GOAT. He just showed y'all why. And nobody can beat him until he retires. That's all I got for y'all. Stay tuned for Saturday night. Go Volk. Have a good night.